The other thing is, are you sure they didn't copy any of it while they're in there?
This is the other thing. And the piece is, so supposedly they want to use AI to try to make these cuts, right? They don't know anything about government, so they're going to let the AI bots do it. This is the fear I think I have, and I'm sure that you have, is that these unregulated people, who apparently they're giving some security clearances to, could download that data. Data is the coin of the realm.
Exactly.
They could use it to train the AI grok that he's got for Twitter. They could literally use it to profit, and we've not given them permission to do it.
That's right. And in order to get into this system, understand, this is like one of the most protected systems in the world.
It has been difficult to find hope at the beginning of Donald Trump's presidency. It feels like there is nothing we can do to push back, but it has also felt like the momentum has started to shift in our favor over the past couple of days. Now it has certainly helped that Democrats are quite literally in the streets protesting against Donald Trump's agenda, his nominees, and Elon Musk criminality. But it is not just us in Congress that we see pushing back. It is also, and finally, the court specifically crushing Elon Musk with a legal bombshell that finally shows his criminality and will put a stop to his corrupt actions. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already, you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me now. Before we get into this exact reporting, I want to check out a clip from Elizabeth Warren on Joy Reid's show talking about how we need to be fighting back against Trump and against all the Republican corruption.
How many fences did they have to knock down? How many gates did they have to open? And how many people are sliding in behind him? I don't know.
Yeah.
Iranian hackers, North Korean hackers, black hats from anywhere around the world. In other words, we had a banking hearing this morning. And one of the questions that Democrats asked, we had 2 or 3 bankers there, is would you let someone come in and see your customers' private banking data?
Right.
And these bankers are like, no, never, absolutely not, no. So why is it okay for Elon Musk and a handful of people just to come in and say, you know what, we're just going to root around here for a while. And then while they're at it, why should we have the slightest bit of confidence that they're not turning off programs they don't like? They've already indicated just a week before that anything they want to shut down, they could just shut down.
Let's get into this for a moment. The claim from Republicans is that they've only got read-only access. The White House spokesperson said that today. But Elon Musk himself posted on his ex-Twitter, no, we turned off the funding to this Lutheran organization. So he's admitting that they are doing more than... There's also some Wired reporting and other reporting that they might be downloading software onto it. We literally are told, don't click on anything on our phone because you might download malware. We don't know what that software is. You all don't know what that software is. If a foreign government was doing this, we would say that the federal government is having a cyber attack.
Oh, absolutely.
And you all passed a law banning TikTok because of the fear that the Chinese government could get access to our personal data.
Exactly right. And so now Elon Musk has got access to all of his personal data. That's exactly right.
What can be done about this?
So look, the first thing we can do is we have to raise our voices about this. Remember last week they cut off funding. They said we're going to do a pause on everything that has federal funding. And what did people do?
22 states sued.
We went to the courts, right? And we also raised our voices. Think how many people stood up and said, whoa. I want everybody to know that's my little organization here. That's my small business that can't get our... That's my NIH... I'm working on trying to cure cancer here, guys, and you just cut off my funding. I'm going to have to shut down my small business. How many people spoke out? And what happened? We've got the courts in place now, and I think the appetite for going through and trying to shut these down, at least the warning shot has been fired. So, okay, so we've held the line there. Now we come to the second one. Elon Musk comes in, and it's 2.0.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it program by program, now they've got their fingers on the keys to do it person by person,
Yeah.
right? We don't
they could
people in the
retaliate
zip
against
code. Exactly.
his how is Ford comfortable, the company, with their competitor having the ability to turn off their federal grants, their contracts? He could literally have an advantage against his fellow companies. I do FAFSA. I've done FAFSA. My kids are now out of college. You put so much personal data in there. What if we don't know who these young people are. We've got their names, some of them in Wired. What if there's someone that they just have a beef with?
Right.
And they say, now I've got their data. I know where they live. I know their social security number. I've got their banking information. They have people's tax returns.
So this is the moment when we really start rallying the troops. People tell the stories. They do not want their personal data exposed to some unelected billionaire and a handful of people that he has picked out.
Yeah.
That we're just not going to do that. And I really want to emphasize here.
I'm going to break a little bit of special exciting news. We are currently trying to get Senator Warren on the show. So soon it maybe won't just be her doing an interview with Joy Reid that we're tuning into, but our own interview right here, because she has been doing such a great job not only calling out Elon and Trump, but advocating for the ways that we need to be doing so as well. If we cede everything to Donald Trump, if we just give up and say, oh, we signed this executive order, I guess he can take the power of the purse from the legislature. Oh, Donald Trump said this. I guess he able to completely eliminate federal agencies on his own. Now, no. If we don't push back, then Donald Trump is winning when we bend the knee like the corporate media has, like the billionaire class has, like so many other. Have we lose? We have to be the ones stepping up. That is what we're seeing. And we finally saw it from the courts. And a takedown Elon Musk I want to get into right here. U.S. Treasury temporarily agrees to limit DOGE access amid privacy lawsuit. The U.S. Treasury Department has agreed to not give Elon Musk's government efficiency agency access to its payment system, while a judge hears arguments in a lawsuit alleging the billionaire advisor to the U.S. president illegally searched them. The deal struck on Wednesday night by Treasury in a group of federal employee unions and retirees will, for now, prevent billionaires billions of sensitive government payments records from being turned over to Musk's Department of Government Efficiency as part of its sweeping campaign to shrink the federal bureaucracy and crack down UN allegedly wasteful and fraudulent spending in their Monday lawsuit in Washington, D.C. federal court. The employee unions and retirees said Treasury had violated privacy laws by giving Musk and DOGE full access to government payment records, documenting everything from income tax payments to Social Security benefits and federal employee salaries during a hearing on Wednesday Treasury law. Lawyers denied violating privacy laws and said only 2 DOGE-affiliated people had been given read-on access to its payment systems. Both these people were so-called special government employees of the Treasury. The lawyers said the government nonetheless reached an initial agreement with the plaintiffs that will prevent anyone else with the DOGE from accessing the payment records while the case plays out. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Fox on Wednesday that the department's payment system will not be touched by Musk, adding that any decisions to stop payments would be made by other agencies. There, it is clear as day from the court in plain English from the Treasury as well. Elon Musk is breaking the law, and we have to be incredibly clear about why, because as I've said on this show so many times, and it's part of the reason that this show exists. Donald Trump controls TikTok. Elon Musk controls Twitter. Donald Trump controls Zuck with Meta and Facebook. Donald Trump is got Google in his back pocket. All these information platforms. Donald Trump is influencing because he wants his narrative pushed. And a narrative Elon and him want pushed is that they're trimming the fat in government instead of the truth that they are intimidating federal workers, trying to get them to leave so they can install MAGA loyalists. And the reason why they're trying to pretend like they're trimming the fat is because they want to spend way more money than is spent on our federal bureaucracy. And the people the government employs by giving Elon and all all his rich buddies a giant tax cut. It is why all these information CEOs have sold their soul to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because they want that tax cut. They're not saving you money. They're taking money away from the programs you need and dumping it into the pockets of the richest men in the history of the world. That is what this is all about. And of course, installing Donald Trump's loyalists and agencies in government. So when he breaks the law, when E breaks the law, when any MAGA Republican breaks the law, they don't care. That is what it is about. And that is why we have to be using our voice to protest it. That is what Senate Democrats are doing right now, protesting the OM director nominee in Russ' vote, his appointment, his nomination, protesting it right now. And I want to hear more about that from Senator Brian Schatz in a clip right here.
Joining us now from the Senate is Senator Brian Schatz, Democrat of Hawaii. Senator Schatz, I appreciate you stepping off the floor and being with us. I know it's been a long day and it's going to be a long night.
Thanks, Rachel, for covering this. I appreciate it.
Let me ask how you and your colleagues are holding up, and what ultimately you think will be the result of holding this floor all evening tonight.
Well, we're fine. There's going to be 37 of us talking. We will not relinquish the floor for 30 hours until the final vote on Mr. Russ' vote. And you've said it exactly right. Russ' vote is an unusual Office of Management and Budget nominee. This is a job you shouldn't know the name of the person running the OMB, but he is actually one of the authors of Project 2025, and he has a very specific view of OMB. He basically thinks the OMB director should be the king's hand and represent the president in all things throughout the government, legislative, executive branch, wherever. He was the architect of the federal funding freeze that happened last week, where Medicaid portals were shut down, where Head Start was shut down, where construction projects were shut down. And he's got a lot more ideas for the American people, and none of them are good. He also basically views laws as optional. We pass an appropriations bill, and then he thinks that he gets to just say, well, Donald Trump doesn't like it, so we're going to shutter that agency. Look, if you don't like a particular part of the federal government, there is a way to change the federal government, and it's through your elected representatives in Congress. And I don't mean to be so fussy about these kinds of things, but this is the American system of democracy. So there's two problems with Russ' vote. One is that what he proposes to do and what they have already done is illegal. And the other is that what they are doing is already harming people across the country.
The first part of that, the illegal part of that, I think is sticking in everybody's craw, because it used to be when credible people who know the law pointed out that something is illegal, it was part of a sentence in which you were saying, you can't do that because it's illegal. What we're seeing over and over again in this second Trump term, particularly from ideas that sprung from the brain of people like Russ Vought, is that they are doing things that seem plainly illegal, and yet they are still doing them. I think the frustration and the exasperation of the American people on that front is that I think we all thought that the law would stop them, would sort of enjoin them from doing things that are against the law. How should we understand that tension, that lack of what's allowed them to do this stuff that feels so lawless?
Be angry, but don't give up. Because what they want you to believe is that the law doesn't apply to them. Now, it's true that if they flood the zone and violate the law in multiple areas, it actually takes time for the court system to stop them. But last week, there was an injunction that was made final this week against the spending freeze. They also rejected the United States government's stupid argument about birthright citizenship. So one of the things that we need to do is not concede that this president and this president only is unconstrained by the law. He's going to try to violate the law in multiple places, but we have to not concede the point that when he writes an EO saying, for instance, I'm going to get rid of the Department of Education or the Bureau of Indian Education or the USAID Department, like, he can't do that. He may be able to do tons of damage in the meantime, but eventually most, if not all of these things will be overturned in a court of law, and they've got to follow it. It's also true, and you know this, Rachel, that the courts are tilted in Donald Trump's favor, but that's when it's a relatively close call, when there is a clear statute that they're violating, even even conservative judges and justices have batted them down. So we need to be furious, we need to be alarmed, but we need not to be despondent and act as if this person has already been installed as a monarch.
This is exactly the type of energy we need to be bringing. We need more of it. We need it every day. Let's keep bringing this fight. I don't know if you feel it. I feel it. Although it's been tough, there is momentum that is shifting in our favor. We are fighting back. Didn't necessarily feel like that at first from a lot of Democratic leadership. It didn't. Let's be real about that. It's not me saying that Democrats have said that didn't feel real at first, didn't feel like we were really pushing back. Now it does put on the gas. Keep moving it forward. I'm fired up right now. Like, I really am. Let's keep moving. We're going to do it. We're going to fight back, and if you want to support us fighting back on this show, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you're stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you soon.